Hello everybody, it's the all-around computer dude, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Minecraft server. If you're having a lot of trouble, this is going to be a very in-depth, very slow, step-by-step process starting from absolutely nothing, okay? So, the very beginning, go to wherever you want to make your server, and make a new folder, call it server or whatever else you want. Open that up, and just leave that off to the side for now. Once you have that done, you go to your browser, and you're going to want to go to Minecraft.net. Once you're in Minecraft.net, you come over here to under already bought the game ? You click on download it here. Below the download for Minecraft, it has the multiplayer server. On the first line it says if you're running on Windows and you just want to set up a server easily, download this. We do want to set up a server easily, so we're going to download that, and then once it brings up the window, we're going to save it to wherever we put our server. Mine's on my desktop, which is where I recommend putting it. I go under the server folder, and we'll save it in the server folder. So what I did was I downloaded the server right here off of Minecraft.net, and I put it in my server folder right here. Okay, next step. What you're going to do is as soon as you download it, make sure it's in your server folder. It's going to create a whole bunch of files once you run it, and you don't want it in some random directory where you won't be able to find it, or where other programs will interfere with it. So all by itself, you're just going to run it, and it's going to say a bunch of stuff, does not exist, errors, okay? Gonna get a whole bunch of stuff. Okay? Just wait till it's done loading, and then go in this bottom bar and type in stop and hit enter. What that does, it's the safe way to stop it. It saves everything and shuts it down, and once it stops loading stuff, you can just hit X. Okay, yeah, it'll close down in a minute. Okay, so when you run it for the first time, it'll create all of these files. There's a few things you need to do. You're going to open up the server folder. It's going to be properties over here. You don't want the text document one. You want the server properties. Open that up. Okay, now it's open, and it's going to look like a bunch of random stuff. Okay, most of this you shouldn't mess with, but there is a few things that you need to. So for example, allow nether. Do you want people to go in the nether? True. If not, false. Well, I want that true. So I'm going to leave it like that. But you can do whatever you want. Level name. This is what the people see. I'm going to go world. I don't know, something like that. Don't know what that does. Flight. You want to let them fly. Server port. Do not touch that. It's very confusing to fix. Level type, default, all that stuff. You can mess with anything. Monsters, max players, game mode, difficulty, all that stuff. It's really cool. Okay? So once you have that open, the next step is to find command prompt. What you're going to do is you want to search. You want to search for CMD and then load command prompt. You can search command prompt. CMD is the shortcut. Anything to find this, okay? Once you bring this up, you're going to type in IP CONFIG IP config. That stands for IP configuration, and then you're going to hit enter. Right here, in IPconfig, there is the IPv4 address, okay? It is 192.168.1.123. For you, it's going to be different. It should be 192.168.1 and then 3 numbers. So, what you're going to do is you're going to take your IPv4 and then come back over to the server properties and server IP. Under server IP, you're going to type in the IPv4. So for me, it's 192.168.1.123. Okay? Now, once that's done, you're going to save it, file, save, and then close your server properties folder. But leave command prompt open, okay? Because the next step is to open the port on your router to allow other people to access your server. To open up the port, what you got to do is you got to make a new tab and then type in almost your IPv4 address. You're going to go 192.168.1.1. hit enter, and it'll going to ask you for a password. Usually, it's admin and admin. That should work for most of you if you have Linksys routers, because that's the default. It could also be username and password. It could be admin password. It could be username admin. There's a whole bunch of things. If it doesn't work for you, go Google what's my router password, and it's just going to give you a whole bunch of different possibilities, okay? Well, mine, I've changed it, so I'm not going to let you guys see that. Okay, now, once you're into your router settings, there's a lot of stuff here. It's very confusing. Don't touch any of it because you can mess with your router. There's going to be two types of setups. You're going to either have a few tabs here up at the top, or a lot of tabs down on the side. If you have a few tabs up at the top, go to Applications and Gaming. If you have a lot of tabs down the side, look for something that says Port Forwarding. That's what you want. You want Port Forwarding. Once you're in Port Forwarding, you're going to see something along the lines of this. It may be a little simpler, but there's the basic things that you need. The application name, Minecraft. The external port is going to be 25565. Remember that, 25565. And the internal port is also 25565. The protocol is both. The IP address. Now, what you're going to do is come back to your IPv4 address that you have up here. Okay? And your IPv4 address is the one that you need to enter over here. So, for me, it's 192.168.1.123. So, I'm going to enter 123. You enter whatever yours is. You check enable, and then you hit save settings. Settings are successful. Hit continue. It'll bring you back here. Double check to make sure you have 25565, 25565, both, 123, or whatever your IPv4 address is, and then you hit enabled. Okay? Once that's saved, you can close out and close out. Close command prompt. Okay, and once you're back to your server folder, you run the server again. It should not say error. If it says error could not bind to port, that is the most common error everyone gets. What you need to do is you need to go into your properties. You need to make sure your IP address is correct. You need to make sure that this is 25565. And if that's correct, if that matches your IPv4 address, you got to go back to your router and make sure that what you have here matches what you have in your router settings, and make sure that matches your IPv4 address. They all have to match. If one number is wrong, none of it's going to work. So, if you did everything right, you will have an up and running Minecraft server. Okay? Let's just make sure this is working. Now, remember that IP that we used, the IPv4? That is not the IP that you give to your friends, okay? The IP that you give to your friends is a little bit different. The one you give to your friends is called your external IP. Okay, so just Google literally what's my IP, and Google will show it here, or what'smyip.org. This right here, that's the IP you give to your friends. That's your external IP, and the IPv4, that's your internal IP, okay? So I'm going to go to multiplayer direct connect. Okay, let's go 68.197. What am I doing? 197.195.119. Okay, join your server, outdated client. Well, that's a problem. What am I running? Oh, well, there you go. I was running 1.6.2. The reason I do that a lot is because I play on this other server, and they run 1.6.2. They haven't updated yet. Okay, now that you're running the correct version and same version as your server, direct connect, join server. It'll log you right in the middle of nowhere, and you start playing with all of your buddies. As soon as you load the server, it's very, very laggy, very slow, but it Give it a minute or two and it'll pick up, get better frame rates. Okay, now you have your server. It's up and running. You're all good to go. Remember, when you want to play with your friends, give them the IP address from whatsmyip.org. You do not give them the IPv4. If you give them the IPv4, they won't be able to connect and it just won't work. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and remember to subscribe, like, comment. Please visit my channel. I have some other great videos. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.